So I'm making this video to bust some myths, some very common misconceptions, because you've been lied to about Ibogaine by doctors, by rehabs, by the so-called psychedelic gurus that you'll find. Why? Because truth is, it stops them from making money. Um, so today, in this video, I'm going to smash through the biggest myths that you'll come across surrounding Ibogaine. And as always, no fluff, absolutely no bullshit, just the straight truth, straight talk, no spiritual tourism brochure, just raw, honest authenticity and lived experience. So, some people have been worried who I've spoken to, can I get addicted to Ibogaine? Is it something that once I've taken, I'll be addicted to? Absolute rubbish. For anyone that's taken it, Ibogaine isn't, you'll know that it's something that you're not itching to repeat every weekend. It's long, it's heavy, it can be very heavy. It can be sometimes very, very uncomfortable, depending upon what you're using it for. You can't eat, drink, or even function properly while it's working because it gives you something called ataxia that takes away your motor functions. Could someone abuse microdoses if they stacked them every single day? Yeah, sure. But it's not what they wouldn't get something pleasurable from that. They'd get headaches, exhaustion. The body will be screaming for them to stop because in small doses it's a stimulant. Essentially, Ibogaine is a medicine. It's not a party drug. It's not something that's recreationally used at all. Another myth, you'll have visions and wake up a brand new person the next day. Again, wrong. Absolutely wrong. Some people see visions. Some people see a lot of visions. Some don't. Some will just hear sounds. Some just experience complete silence. It's not, it's not like in Netflix. You don't get to pick your package. The package picks you, if anything. And then there's what's called, commonly known as the grey day. And that's when your body feels like it's been unplugged and rewired, because that's essentially what it does. Everything in this world is energy, and I mean everything. Money, this table I'm sitting on, this phone, it's all the energy. And that energy, that bad energy you've had all your life, pre-treatment, has got to go somewhere. So it can be exhausting, it can be very confusing, not fun at all. And some people think that they did it wrong because they expected fireworks, they expected some kind of miraculous sensation. But with anything that's worth doing, Ibogaine is not about instant gratification. What it's actually about is resetting your brain chemistry so you actually have a fighting chance to rebuild. Then there's the big scary one. Ibogaine is deadly. It's deadly. It can kill you. Now here's the truth, the actual truth. Okay. Almost every single death linked to Ibogaine comes down to three things. All right. Number one is mixing it with other drugs, which is why the pharmacology knowledge is so paramount. Skipping proper screening, so not having an ECG, not having a blood panel, or using the wrong dose for your body weight. In other words, All of this is very, very preventable. Does Ibogaine carry risks? Of course it does. Yes, of course it does. But in the right setting, with the right people that actually know what they're talking about, it is far, far, far safer than you've been led to believe. I mean, let's just compare it to alcohol, yeah? Millions of deaths every single year are linked to alcohol. Millions. And let's be real, let's get really, really real. If you're shooting heroin every day, or you're smoking crystal meth every day, chances are you're going to end up dead, or in prison anyway. So, I mean, taking something that will stop that behaviour dead in its tracks, by comparison, it's far less risky. You know, make your own mind up. But Ibogaine, it's scheduled and banned in most countries. Now ask yourself the question, why is that? If it does so much good for many people, it's politics. It's nothing to do with science, it's all politics. And another lie, another misconception is Ibogaine stops withdrawals from every opioid known to man. And that again is not true. It wipes out completely withdrawals from short-acting opioids like heroin, oxy, morphine, Vyvanse. But fentanyl, Suboxone, or Subutex, methadone, those are a completely different beast. Those are synthetic, long-acting opioids that are typically given to people who want to quit. So they don't really get you high, they just stop you from feeling the effects of opiates. And they get in your fat, they get in your bone marrow, they hang around for weeks, if not months. And that is why people can still feel the withdrawals from these substances after they've used Ibogaine, if they've not switched to a shorter acting opioid first. So it's not the Ibogaine failing, it's the drug that they were on. And I've had people be advised to take it to quit these substances. Then there's also the cure-all fantasy. Now, people think that Ibogaine will cure depression, PTSD, trauma. It doesn't. It doesn't cure it. All right. What it does is it resets the body. It kills your cravings and it resets your brain chemistry and your nervous system to baseline. Okay. So what it does is it cracks open the door so healing becomes possible. But it cracks open the door, but you still have to work through it. You still have to do the emotional work. So without proper integration, without building new habits, you will slip back into those negative patterns, because it's like, pulling back a bow and arrow. It will snap. It opens the door, but you've still got to walk through it. The maintenance is extremely important post-treatment. It's not sexy, it's not fun. It's like wiping your arse, brushing your teeth. It's essential maintenance that you've got to do on a daily basis that is non-negotiable. Doing this kind of work without having Ibogaine is very, very difficult, but post-treatment it's much easier and it does stick. And here's a question I get asked, almost every day. Is it like ayahuasca? The answer is no. It's nothing like ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is what's known as a dissociative psychedelic, and that's why it's called a trip. It's like the fun, sociable, cousin. It takes you where it wants to take you. That's why it's called a trip. Iboga or Ibogaine is like the stern father, the one who will strip away your frock of bullshit and force you to get very, very real with yourself. It doesn't give you what you want. It doesn't give you what you want at all. It gives you exactly what you need. That's why every single treatment that I've done has been completely different for everybody. And here's the key. Ibogaine is purely medicinal. Purely medicinal. There's absolutely nothing recreational about it. Nothing. Zero. It's not fun at all. It's not party petrol. It's hard medicine that makes you face yourself. What are some other myths? You don't always vomit. You don't always vomit. Some do. It depends on the form in which you take it. Because there are different forms, there are different grades. There's medicinal grades, there's the actual plant itself. It's not your personal Google either. You know, you don't get to hand Ibogaine a list of cosmic questions and get, you know, a nice little neatly formed bunch of answers that you're looking for. It gives you what matters to you. It gives you exactly what you need, not what you demand. And it's not banned in, you know, 80% of countries because it's dangerous. It's banned and unregulated because of politics, racism, and drug war. I mean, the black economy of most countries props it up. So who do you trust? Not Facebook groups, not the guy flogging ceremonies out of his spare room. You trust people who actually know what they're talking about, people who've studied it for years. I mean, now I've been studying it for 8 years. People who've done it, people who've helped others. Now I've helped close to 60 people. People who understand how this medicine really, really works, because Ibogaine isn't a toy. It's not a toy. It's not about tripping balls. In some cases, it's about life or death. Literally life or death. If you've been to rehab, if you've been to therapy and it's failed you, you know, so for some people it's the last bastion of hope for recovery. And if you respect it, it'll respect you back. So here's the bottom line. The myths are lies, the risks are real, but the potential is absolutely massive. Taking Ibogaine isn't pretty, but it's very, very real. And for some of us, including myself, it's the only thing that works. It's the only thing that works for me, and it's the only thing that's worked for the 60 people that I've, well, the near 60 people that I've treated. So if someone you love is stuck in addiction or crippling anxiety, ADHD, PTSD, has been to rehab, has, you know, tried everything and failed, multiple relapses, hear me loud, hear me clear, there is another way that does work. So just reach out to me, send me an email, ask questions, stop buying into the bullshit. Because if a broken, washed up addict degenerate like me can turn it around with Ibogaine and a lot of self-work and a lot of self-integration, then seriously anyone can. So drop me an email, let's talk, let's get very, very real. and let's talk it over and let's see what's possible for you. And again, as always, none of this is medical advice. This is just literal, real talk from a place of experience, from someone who's walked the path, done the work, and knows what they're talking about. So if anything I've said in this video resonates with you at all, reach out and let's talk. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video.